Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Software Engineer K here, and we've got some awesome stuff to go through today. We had the community update from Ecomi, so I don't want to regurgitate what they said or rephrase what they said, but I did pick up some subtle points that I haven't seen any other YouTubers mention, and I want to just go through the importance of those with you guys. Specifically, one part to do with the software engineering aspect, and I also want to go through a couple of updates that we've gotten from David Yu and also Trevor as well. Trevor just tweeted out something really, really awesome. So I just want to go put my thoughts into that as well. But if you're new here, guys, please do subscribe, support the content. I have now added an OMI address to the description of this video. So if any of you want to donate to support the channel, which will help fund new equipment such as microphone and subscriptions to video editing software, so feel free to do that, and I will give you guys a shout out if you request on the donation as well. Now, going into it, we had the update with the Ecomi community, and Reese let me know about the scam part. I will touch on that as well. So they mentioned one thing that really caught my attention, and that was they have hired or they are hiring for, I believe they have hired now. They have hired full-time software engineers specifically on the Unity aspect. Now that part, full-time, that's what really caught my attention. And for those of you who aren't aware, I am a software engineer myself. I work for the company that builds the Amazon credit cards. So if any of you have the Amazon app, I've probably contributed to some aspect of that. And that company that I currently work for, when it was going through the early stages, they did not have many full-time software engineers. What they had was they hired contractors to develop the initial app for them. And that's because when you're in the early stages, you can't afford to hire full-time, especially full-time engineers, because there's a lot of hidden costs that you get that you wouldn't get with contractors, for example. So in the UK, you have national insurance contributions, which is like the equivalent of Social Security in the US. Typically, if you are in the early stages of your application, you hire contracted engineers on, say, a 1-year fixed-term contract to build a kind of beta app for you. And if the app does kick off, then you would hire full-time engineers to fit in with your growth model. And that's exactly what I picked up from Vivi, is the fact that they are hiring full-time engineers. For those who are interested, this was the job application I found. So for Ecomi, they're hiring a backend engineer, write maintainable backend features, performance optimized database queries. And this is interesting. This is what they keep talking about: performance optimizing database queries, because they keep talking about the issues that they had with scalability of the application, specifically reading and writing to their database. Because I don't want to like bore you guys, but basically, when you have loads of users, let's say all these users are purchasing, NFTs, bidding on NFTs, you have to manage something known as concurrency, and also race conditions. So race conditions are to do with multiple users kind of transacting on the same, let's say the same NFT in this case. You want to manage, which user is going to be the one to win this NFT if you have multiple bids, maybe of the same value. How do you prevent two people winning the same NFT, for example? That's just going to cause chaos. So it does take quite a lot of experience to manage this kind of stuff. So I'm pretty sure they're hiring someone who is fairly, knowledgeable senior engineer and game developer as well. So this would be more to do with the application platform itself. So more of the UI side and understanding Unity. This is quite big as well, because I'm experienced with Unity myself. It's kind of like a game engine, so it comes with a lot of pre-made packages, and also packages built by other developers to kind of save you time when it comes to development. So things like, Unity particle effects, for example, you don't want to sit there and make those yourself. There's loads of packages available with pre-built effects, things like lighting, basically all the stuff that they've talked about here, basically using these packages. So lighting, shading configuration, scene setting, and then you can also, bundle up your characters as assets, and then translate those across, upload those for other users to use as well. But that does require kind of very specific Unity platform knowledge. So that's another thing I wanted to touch on is the fact that they are hiring permanent staff, not contractors, shows me that they're moving out of that early beta phase and they're really looking to grow now, which is amazing because this is the stage where the company and ideally your OMI is also going to start to see some heavy growth. Um, Now, there was something else that I wanted to touch on, and I have had requests from you guys. So this is to do with my video from yesterday. So I did point out the Avengers stuff, and then people kept saying, "Oh, hey, isn't that a pod racer at the bottom from Star Wars?" And yes, it is. And one of my videos, I said that Trevor, the guy that they hired from Riot, he said that we guessed one of the big brands correctly, but he wouldn't say which one. And I said in that video that I believe it is Star Wars, and that was partly to do with also a previous Instagram post from David Yu. So this was 3 weeks ago during the Mermicron drop. And if you have a look here, um, this was on the March 31st post, so do have a go back and have a look at it. But the way that David Yu was kind of dropping all these hints, he kept saying, patience you must have, my young one, talking like Yoda. And then someone responded to him, may the force be with you. And he responded with, these appraisal hands up kind of emojis. And if you look through, patience you must have, my young one, wait until April 6th April. He just basically kept talking like Yoda. Powerful you have become, the dark side I sense in you. And then he dropped these heart emojis. So all these Star Wars references and the fact that we saw in the patent that there was a little Star Wars reference dropped in there as well. And the fact that Trevor did say one of the major brands we had guessed correctly, and Star Wars is definitely a major brand. I think the big brand coming will be Star Wars. But it is always fun to speculate with these kind of things. So, feel free to drop your speculations in the comments below. And another thing is, you will get people who are saying, oh, VV, it's a scam, blah, 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 just because they don't understand it. I did have a catch up with Reese as well. So I did drop to him a fake Ecomi group. So watch out, guys. There is only one official Ecomi group on Telegram. It is the one with nearly 35,000 members, and it's got this pin message: airdrops equal scams. That's the official one. I got added to one that had like about 1,000 members, and there was a fake Reese in there promoting an airdrop. So I passed on the group with him with a screenshot. And he let me know that they mentioned it in a community update video, which for those of you guys who have seen it, definitely see it. If you haven't seen it, it's on the Ecomi official YouTube channel. We spent quite a lot of time clarifying, the scams going on. So be aware of those guys. So yeah, that was that. I have blocked out some stuff. So this is to do with the update I'll be passing on to you guys once that is finalized. I'll explain, all of this stuff that I've blocked out will make sense. So exciting stuff going on, guys. Keep your eyes peeled because you'll be the first to know. And next, so like I said before, Trevor from Vivi, he's the guy who used to work at for Riot. He said 4 brands last week. 5 huge brands kicking off NFT development this week. So they are developing a lot of new brands for us. So that is exciting. And I believe the quality of the NFTs, all of that stuff, is going to be a whole new level. So I am really, really excited. So for those of you who don't know Trevor, he used to be one of the content creators for Riot. He worked on some of the Legends of Runeterra stuff, League of Legends, KDA, and Project series as well. So that's pretty cool if you are familiar with that. So another thing I wanted to touch on was David Yu. He does have a store. He has experience with running a business. And I came across this store because I wasn't actually aware that the person who brought the Pokemon trading card game to New Zealand back in 1996 was actually David Yu. And I think he doesn't get enough recognition because whenever we talk about, major licenses such as Pokemon, we always associate Alfred Kahn with it. But David Yu, he has played a major part in these big brands outside of, the UK and US, specifically New Zealand. So this store is in New Zealand. So definitely props to David Yu. So he has experience with running a business as well. And do have a look at his website and his past Instagram posts because there are some cool gems that I'm sure you guys will spot. And last thing I want to touch on just before our daily price analysis is we have gotten an update on David Yu's Instagram. So this is the Jurassic Park gates. I think this will be an NFT because he likes teasing these NFTs to us. Oh, this is pretty cool. Some people did say that you need to slow the gates down a little. I think it would be pretty cool if you could change the speed that maybe the gates open and close at. Make it a bit interactive like that, and maybe I don't know, maybe turn the torches on and off. But this does look pretty cool. I would love to have this like in front of my vault. So when you kind of approach it, it automatically opens. I assume it's going to be one of those ones where you click to open the doors, kind of like the DeLorean, where you can click it and the doors of it will open. So that's pretty cool as well. Now, lastly, is the price analysis. So this was yesterday when I drew this cross. The price was around about here. And I said to you guys that we are expecting a movement upwards. And that's exactly what we had. We had a candle that went upwards and followed this trend line. We had a second one that went upwards, followed this trend line, broke it a bit. And then we came back to trading sideways. So we've basically been trading on this line right in the center of where I drew my wedge, and we've been exactly on it. So that shows us that the bid and ask prices have been very, very tight, and this is a very, very good sign because if we just scroll back to a higher timeline, before any major price action, we see sideways trading. So if we have a look here, we saw that there was large spread in the bid and ask. So this was a wedge here, and then we saw the price wedge here, and then just come straight down. And then we saw some sideways trading, and then the price went back up, and then it slowly came back down. And now we're seeing sideways trading again. And I believe what's going to happen next is a push upwards up to this support resistance here. So someone did say that the colors weren't that bright, so I'm going to use yellow today. So what I believe is going to happen is we are currently sat at around about, this is the current support here, and this crosses through, and this touches quite nicely one, and then again here, and then we had touch here as well. So this is a very, very strong support that I've seen. And when we did dip below it, you can see that we wicked straight back above it, like straight away. So I believe this is probably the new floor that we have. And in terms of where we're going to have some price resistance, I believe it's going to be, so this here is a very, very strong very, very strong point of sideways price movement as well. So I believe what we're going to have is some resistance here. So you can see back here on the 18th of April, so about a week ago, we did wick below it, but we came back up, and then the price kind of maintained here. And we can see that the price has been constantly touching this resistance here, and it broke it briefly, and then it retested, and then we had a continuation to the upside. And then when we did drop below this support here, we again wicked above, and we're kind of trading this range here. Now, I believe what's going to happen is we're going to touch the price on 0.64 cents, and then we're going to break and retest, and then we're going to continue up to the upside, and we're going to come up to this level of 0.78 cents, and then moving on to the 0.91 cent region, which I predict is going to happen within the next couple of weeks, maybe sooner, whenever we get that big announcement. So exciting times ahead, guys. Now, that pretty much covers all my updates for today. So as always, please do like and subscribe to support the content, and I'll keep you guys updated whenever I hear something. So see you in the next video. See ya.